Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the shocking emotional fallout from Willow Tate's cancelled wedding to Drew Kane and the devastating revelations that have upended her hopes of ever seeing her children again. The story unfolds as Willow pleads for access to Wiley and Amelia. Carly blocks her, and Michael comes to a painful realization based on his daughter's own words. In the weeks ahead, the consequences will ripple through every corner of Port Charles. Willow's decision to call off her wedding to Drew was dramatic and courageous, but it shattered many expectations. In the aftermath, she turned to Carly Spencer, passionately begging to be allowed regular visits with her children, Wiley and Amelia. She pleaded that, though she had made mistakes, what mattered most was her bond with her kids. Carly, however, remained firm. She believed Willow's emotional state was unstable and that granting visitation now would risk psychological harm to the children. Carly refused, creating a rift that Willow feared she might never bridge. When Michael Corinthos learned of Carly's refusal and Willow's desperation, he listened carefully and reconsidered. He had pledged for the implosion of their relationship and her broken engagement to Drew that if Willow backed out of the wedding, he would be willing to reconsider visitations. With that condition met, Michael felt Willow had earned a second chance. But to protect his children, he insisted on a clear gauge. He would ask Amelia herself whether she wanted to see Willow. It was a serious concession, meant to be transparent and age-appropriate. What he did not expect was what Amelia would say. In a quiet living room conversation, Michael asked Amelia if she would like to spend time with her mother again. To his shock, Amelia said no, not because she didn't love Willow, but because she was frightened. Amelia described in horrifying detail how she had seen Willow carrying Daisy, Sasha's daughter, without permission, and had looked at her with a cold, angry expression. She was like a stalker, Amelia said, her voice shaking. She was so scary, like a crazy person. Those words penetrated Michael's defenses in an instant. He realized that Willow's behavior had gone well beyond emotional mistakes or misunderstandings. She had crossed into territory that terrified a child. Michael's world unraveled in that moment. He thought Willow was struggling. Yes, but he never imagined she had behaved so dangerously. He remembered all the warning signs, how Sasha had confided that someone was watching her and Daisy, how the behavior had been dismissed, and how Sasha had left town in fear. Now, hearing that his own daughter had been traumatized by the same person confirmed that Sasha had been telling the truth from the beginning, and that person was Willow. Michael confronted Willow immediately. The meeting was wrenching. Willow wept, trembling, insisting she never meant to harm anyone. She said she had only acted out of confusion and fear, not malice. She begged forgiveness. But Michael could not forget his daughter's terror. He said, "You may have broken many things, Willow, but you broke trust in my children. You put their safety first, and until that can be guaranteed, you will have no contact with them." His voice was unyielding. He told Willow that the visitation door was shut forever. Willow collapsed in grief at his words, realizing in that moment that not only had her relationship with Michael ended permanently, but that she would never again touch the lives of her children. She had lost them in the worst possible way, not through absence, but through fear. As she stood there, broken and sobbing, it was clear there could be no compromise. Michael's words echoed as a firm verdict. Willow is never allowed to see Wiley or Amelia again. This decision closed a painful chapter and perhaps opened a legal minefield. Carly and Michael agreed that the emotional danger Willow posed made visitation impossible. They prepared to pursue legal avenues to formally deny Willow custody or even supervised visits, citing trauma risk to both children. Psychological assessments were to be submitted, including testimonials from Sasha regarding Willow's behavior toward Daisy. The documents emphasized the substance of psychological harm over emotional attachment. Meanwhile, the Port Charles community became increasingly divided. Some felt compassion for Willow's struggles and believed she deserved therapy and healing, not permanent exile from her children. Others praised Carly and Michael's resolute choice to protect innocent lives. Gossip raged in Kelly's, at Metro Court, and along the docks. Willow had become a symbol of heartbreak and of something deeper, that love sometimes isn't enough to override fear. Sasha's absence loomed as a silent reminder of what was lost. Those who advocated for her return whispered that she had been forced out by legitimate danger, and that Willow's exit validated Sasha's fear. Friends of Sasha kept tabs on her via mutual contacts, sending updates to Port Charles anxiously. Carly occasionally spoke to Sasha by phone, giving her custody updates. Can you imagine? Michael confided that Daisy is asking about her mother's friend. Willow slipped into the background after the confrontation. She moved out of her apartment quietly, packed her memories and her sense of loss, and left a letter for Michael. In it, she confessed regret, promised therapy, and asked only that Amelia and Wiley know that she loved them despite everything. She entered therapy willingly, reporting severe anxiety and a diagnosis of cognitive disassociation. Her treatment team prepared periodic progress statements, but so far, none met the threshold for re-evaluating visitation rights. In the aftermath, Port Charles stabilized. Carly and Michael settled into co-parenting mode, shielding their children from news of Willow. Michael struggled emotionally grieving the mother of his children, the woman who once loved him, but he remained resolute. He channeled his pain into advocacy for child safety and mental health awareness at General Hospital seminars. Looking ahead, Willow's fate hangs in the balance. If she fully completes treatment, demonstrates clear recovery, and underscores stable mental health, there may be a legal path to revisit the no-contact order. Sasha might return, and if she confirms her experience, Willow's rehabilitation arc may take center stage. But as things stand, the damage is irreversible. Willow's own child called her scary. That is the image Port Charles will remember. Her choice to give up on therapy to stray from reality may one day define her public legacy. But in private, it stands as a cautionary tale that good intentions don't pardon harm, and that sometimes protecting children means cutting off the people they once loved. In Willow's absence, the moral weight of that decision reverberates through every corner of Port Charles. Next, we will learn about the jaw-dropping drama unfolding around Jason Morgan's desperate quest to uncover the truth about Britt Westburn's fate. The excitement among General Hospital enthusiasts has reached fever pitch this week, as fresh previews tease a confrontation that's got everyone buzzing with disbelief. In a tense exchange, Carly Spencer corners her longtime ally Jason Morgan, pressing him on whether he's seriously contemplating the unthinkable, unearthing Britt Westburn's remains from her grave. This wild insinuation stems from Jason's recent sighting of a mysterious woman in a bustling French airport who bore an uncanny resemblance to the late Doctor, igniting a firestorm of speculation and sending shockwaves through the Port Charles fandom. Viewers are devouring every detail, from the subtle clues in Jason's haunted expression to the implications of such a drastic action, as it hints at deeper layers of unresolved grief and lingering romance. Adding to the intrigue, we've heard whispers from set insiders that this plotline draws inspiration from real-life tales of mistaken identities and long-lost loves, amplifying the soap's signature blend of heartache and high-stakes mystery. Jason, ever the stoic operative known as Stone Cold, appears more vulnerable than ever, his usual composure cracking under the weight of what could be a miraculous second chance or a devastating delusion. Delving deeper into Jason's mindset, it's clear that his affection for Britt hasn't faded since her tragic demise, and this airport encounter has propelled him into uncharted territory. Fans are relishing the rare glimpse of Jason's passionate side, a departure from his typically icy demeanor, as he grapples with memories of their steamy escapades and tender moments that once lit up the screen. To flesh this out, imagine Jason replaying those intimate scenes in his clandestine meetings in dimly lit hideouts, the shared laughter amid danger, and the profound connection that transcended their chaotic lives. Yet not all reactions are unanimous. A vocal segment of the audience debates if exhuming a body crosses ethical lines, labeling it as an overzealous invasion of the dead's peace, while others applaud his relentless drive as the ultimate romantic gesture. We've even seen creative fan art circulating online depicting Jason as a modern-day knight on a quest, complete with symbolic elements like Parisian landmarks and empty coffins. which only heightens the anticipation. This division underscores the show's ability to provoke thought-provoking discussions, blending elements of thriller suspense with heartfelt emotion. And it's keeping social media feeds ablaze with theories about what Jason might discover. At the heart of this brewing storm stands Liesl Obrecht, Brit's fiercely protective mother, whose role as the guardian of her daughter's legacy adds a volatile dynamic to the narrative. Liesl's portrayal as a grieving lioness, ready to pounce on any perceived threat, promises explosive confrontations that could redefine alliances in Port Charles. Expanding on her character's depth, consider how Liesl's own history of loss and villainous schemes has forged her into a complex figure, part mad scientist, part devoted parent, making her response unpredictable. Will she interpret Jason's intentions as a desecration of sacred ground, lashing out with accusations of betrayal? Or might a flicker of doubt in her eyes reveal hidden knowledge? Inventing a fresh angle, perhaps Liesl has been harboring subtle clues herself, like cryptic letters or unexplained absences that could align with Jason's suspicions, turning her from adversary to reluctant ally. The previews suggest a potential face-off where emotions run high, with Liesl's iconic accent delivering lines that cut like a scalpel, reminding us why she's one of GH's most compelling anti-heroes. This setup not only heightens the tension, but also explores themes of maternal instinct versus the pursuit of truth, enriching the storyline with psychological nuance. Picture this wild escalation. Jason, driven by an unshakable conviction, approaches Liesl with a heartfelt plea to allow the exhumation, arguing it's the only way to verify if the grave holds Brit's body or if it's all an elaborate ruse. To add layers, we could envision Jason presenting evidence from his Paris triplery photos snapped on his phone, witness statements from airport staff, or even a distinctive piece of jewelry that matches Brit's signature style, building a case that's equal parts detective work and desperate hope. If Liesl refuses, it might fuel Jason's paranoia, leading him to wonder if she's complicit in a cover-up, perhaps orchestrated by shadowy figures from Brit's past like her father, Caesar Faison. On the flip side, if she consents, the revelation of an empty coffin could shatter expectations, sparking a chain reaction of plot twists involving international chases or hidden identities. We've invented a hypothetical scenario where the exhumation uncovers not just absence but a cryptic message left behind, hinting at Brit's survival in a remote European village, which would propel the story into globetrotting adventure territory. Jason's determination shines through, as he risks everything from legal repercussions to emotional fallout, proving that his stone-cold facade hides a heart that's anything but frozen. The risks Jason faces are immense, particularly the backlash from Liesl, who could brand him as a grave-defiling monster intent on tarnishing her daughter's memory. Yet, knowing Jason's character, forged in the fires of mob wars and personal tragedies, he won't back down without answers. His mantra of loyalty and truth-seeking drives him forward, even if it means alienating friends like Carly. To elaborate, fans have pointed out parallels to Jason's past losses, such as the presumed deaths of loved ones that later turned out to be faked, adding credibility to his obsession. This fan-favorite storyline has us all hooked, pondering outcomes like a triumphant reunion that reignites their fiery romance, or a heartbreaking confirmation that shatters Jason anew. Expanding creatively, imagine the emotional toll on secondary characters in a Corinthos weighing in with mobster wisdom, or Nina Reeves stirring the pot with her own agendas, complicating Jason's path and weaving in subplots that keep the soap's ensemble dynamic thriving. Across platforms like X and Facebook, the GH community is more electrified than ever, with polls, memes, and fan fiction flooding timelines, urging Jason to chase his vision all the way to exotic locales like Croatia if needed. Inventing new fun elements, some enthusiasts have created viral videos theorizing Brit's survival through plastic surgery or witness protection, complete with edited clips from old episodes, while others debate the moral quandaries in heated comment threads. This surge in engagement highlights the show's enduring appeal, blending nostalgia for Jason and Brit's chemistry with fresh chaos that promises to upend Port Charles. Next, We will learn about the simmering frustration among fans over Sonny Corinthos' surprisingly subdued response to Drew Quartermain's underhanded maneuvers. The buzz in the General Hospital community is turning into outright discontent as spoilers reveal Sonny Corinthos maintaining an uncharacteristic silence amid Drew Quartermain's deceptive plots, leaving loyal viewers scratching their heads and demanding answers. This laid-back demeanor feels especially jarring given Drew's recent low blows, such as spreading false narratives to young Wiley Corinthos that his father Michael doesn't want him in his life anymore, which has ripped at the heartstrings of the Corinthos family. Fans are voicing their dismay across social media, yearning for the explosive, no-nonsense mob kingpin who once dominated Port Charles with iron-fisted authority. A stark contrast to the gentler persona that took root after his amnesia-fueled time in Nixon Falls. To enrich this narrative, consider how this softer Sonny has subtly influenced his relationships, like his more contemplative interactions with Carly Spencer, where heated arguments have given way to measured discussions, adding layers of emotional depth but subtracting the raw intensity that defined his character. Inventing a fresh twist, perhaps behind-the-scenes whispers suggest the writers are teasing a slow burn buildup, drawing from classic soap tropes of internal conflict, where Sonny's restraint might be a strategic facade masking a brewing storm, heightening the anticipation for when her eye finally erupts. Diving into the core of fan outrage, Sonny's apparent indifference to Drew's betrayal of Michael has ignited a firestorm of debates, with many longing for the ruthless enforcer who would have dismantled such threats without hesitation, especially recalling how Drew's actions previously shattered Michael's marriage to Willow Corinthos. This shift traces back to Sonny's transformative Nixon Falls arc, where he lived as the unassuming Mike, a storyline allegedly crafted to accommodate actor Maurice Benard's desire for a respite from portraying perpetual rage after years of high-octane drama. Expanding on this, fans appreciate the real-life context. Benard's advocacy for mental health awareness has infused Sonny's evolution with authenticity, portraying a man grappling with bipolar disorder in more stable, relatable ways. But in the summer of 2025, this mellow version persists, feeling like a distant echo of the chaotic force that once propelled the show's most thrilling arcs. Creatively adding details, imagine fan theories circulating about hidden clues in recent episodes, such as Sonny's lingering glances at old family photos or cryptic phone calls, hinting at suppressed fury that's ready to resurface, blending nostalgia with modern character development. This evolution has sparked detailed online analyses, where viewers dissect how Sonny's calmer approach affects ongoing feuds, like his tense standoff with international threats. Yet it leaves a void for the high-stakes confrontations that made GH a staple of daytime television. Further exploring the spoilers, the question looms large: will Drew's exposed treachery finally awaken the dormant beast within Sonny, particularly as allies like Carly Spencer urge him to reclaim his edge? It's easy to envision scenarios where Nina Reeves subtly prods Sonny about Drew's involvement in Willow's turmoil, which indirectly wounds their shared grandchildren, only for Sonny to dismiss it as a personal matter between the parties involved, a response that grates on fans accustomed to his fierce family loyalty. To add inventive elements, picture a pivotal scene where Curtis Ashford, fresh from uncovering Drew's machinations, confronts Sonny in a dimly lit warehouse, presenting irrefutable evidence like recorded conversations or forged documents, forcing Sonny to confront his own complacency. This could tie into his broader conflicts, such as the escalating war with the cunning Jen Sidwell, where Sonny's current serenity seems ill-suited for the cutthroat demands of mob life, potentially endangering his empire and loved ones. Delving deeper, this narrative arc examines themes of redemption and identity, with Sonny's post-amnesia stability offering a poignant contrast to his past volatility. Yet fans argue it dilutes the excitement, prompting calls for a hybrid version of Sonny who balances wisdom with occasional bursts of his signature fire to protect his kin. The desperation among GH devotees for the return of the mob boss they idolized is palpable, as years of this toned-down Sonny have offered little beyond fleeting glimpses of his former self, save for that intense phase when he went off his medications. It's perplexing to see him depicted as utterly composed now, a portrayal that clashes with the unpredictable anti-hero fans have followed for decades. whose chaotic energy infused the series with unrelenting entertainment. Inventing new angles, some enthusiasts speculate that upcoming episodes might introduce a catalyst like a near-miss assassination attempt on Michael, orchestrated indirectly through Drew's alliances, which could shatter Sonny's calm and unleash a vengeful rampage reminiscent of his glory days. On platforms like Facebook, supporters empathize with Bernard's need for a creative breather but plead for targeted moments of ferocity, especially in showdowns with formidable adversaries like Sidwell, where a flash of the old Sonny could deliver the pulse-pounding drama that's been missing. This fan sentiment underscores the show's challenge in evolving long-standing characters while honoring their roots, with polls and discussions revealing a divide between those who embrace the growth and others who miss the fireworks. As the storyline unfolds, the central intrigue revolves around whether Sonny will rediscover his formidable edge, channeling it against Drew for the pain inflicted on Michael, or remaining steadfast in his evolved, more serene state that some view as a watered-down imitation. To expand creatively, envision subplots where Sonny's inner circle, including trusted lieutenants like Jason Morgan, subtly test his limits by sharing intel on Drew's escalating schemes, perhaps involving corporate espionage that threatens the Corinthos coffee empire, pushing Sonny toward a decisive moment of truth. Fans are particularly vocal about wanting this resurgence amid the Sidwell conflict, where Sonny's tactical restraint could either prove genius or lead to catastrophic fallout, enriching the plot with strategic depth and moral ambiguity. The ongoing discourse highlights GH's knack for blending personal evolution with high-drama confrontations, keeping audiences hooked through a mix of empathy and exhilaration. Across social media, the GH fandom is ablaze with pleas for Sonny to snap back to his intense roots, sharing memes of classic outbursts and fan-edited montages contrasting Mike with the mobster icon. Inventing engaging elements, communities have launched virtual campaigns with hashtags like BringBackBeastSonny, featuring fan art of Sonny in dramatic showdowns and speculative scripts where he finally confronts Drew in a rain-soaked alley, delivering lines laced with vintage menace. This wave of interaction not only boosts the show's visibility, but also reflects its timeless appeal in portraying complex family dynamics and power struggles. Stay tuned for the latest GH developments to discover if Sonny reignites his legendary fire or continues down this path of quiet reflection. What do you think? Is it time for the old Sonny to make a comeback, or do you prefer his current, more balanced persona? Share your views in the comments.